10 personal finance lessons that will surely change your life. Amidst the minefield of questionable financial advice online, we have found some strategies that actually work. In this video, we will show you 10 personal finance lessons that will change your life surely. Hello and welcome back to WealthMatic, your regular dose of wealth and millionaire inspiration. Here we talk about everything related to money, wealth, and success. Feel free to chill as this is a place for you, future millionaires out there. Obviously, you must meet your fundamental demands and you must have enough money left over to begin saving. However, if you will not get real about decreasing both your costs and your total spending, you will never be able to get your budget under control. First, finance lesson. This is due to a phenomenon known as lifestyle creep. No, I'm not talking about your former classmate who is ensnared in a Ponzi scheme and keeps pitching you the free lifestyle. Lifestyle creep, also known as lifestyle inflation, occurs when discretionary spending grows at the same rate as your earnings. Instead of utilizing that cash to pay off the loan, you consider all the things you might buy with it. Maybe you should finally remodel that restroom, or go on that trip that you've always wanted to take. After all, don't you think you've earned it? You put forth a lot of effort to get that raise. I know some people who make just over 6 figures, yet live check to check and have hardly scratched the surface of their college loans. And that's because they have not yet devised a strategy for how much to invest. Second lesson. It all boils down to saving aside a proportion of your salary. 20% is a decent place to start. Then, when you earn additional money, continue to devote that proportion. Better yet, act as if you never received the increase in the first place and toss all of your additional cash away. Third, engage in your personal and professional growth. That gets me to the third point I'd want to make. Engage in your personal and professional growth. It may seem a bit counterintuitive, but as the phrase goes, you have to pay for that privilege. Unless your Facebook buddy is attempting to sell you oils just now. We have access to an almost infinite number of books, workshops, and online resources. You can train and develop in almost any field you can think of, whether it's becoming a videographer or an accountant. There are many methods to boost your worth to both employers and clients. Accept all invitations. As your profession or enterprise progresses, you will inevitably become more choosy about the jobs you accept. If you're just starting off though, this is not the period to be choosy. You can never be too smart for a job. If anybody wants to make a promotional video for their spa treatment establishment, plunge in feet first. Then, put that additional income toward debt or investments. You won't have to shoot movies of people who are getting their feet massaged forever. Unless you're liking that sort of stuff, of course. Fourth, expand your sources of revenue. Freelance work and advising are some of the finest methods to improve your earnings in a short amount of time. If there ever was a time to begin a freelance career or side job, and that's because there is just no limit to the amount of money you can make. If you can identify a dozen instances of someone making a full-time career as a freelance contractor in a certain sector, chances are you can do it too. Whether that's blogging or singing, coaching, or teaching others how to tidy their wardrobes. Everybody has a valuable ability, and if you don't believe you have a talent that you can profit from, consider it again. Fast track your wealth and get more life-changing, mindset-shifting, and great content regularly. Only here at WealthMatic. Now if you're new here, be sure to subscribe for more money content by clicking the icon below. Fifth, relocate to your parents' house. Even when you're already past 30, go live with your family, or at the very least, get some housemates to share your expenses. Ever since the 1960s, the percentage of adult people living at home has continuously increased, reaching a period high of 52% just last year. And it's no surprise that home prices are skyrocketing and student debt is at an all-time high. Well, I'm not implying that it's quittable. However, these were the cards that were given, and we must take the responsibility for our life in order to change our situation. If you're fortunate enough to still have your parents, this will significantly boost the amount of debt you can pay back. Sixth, unfollow negative influences and luxurious lifestyles. And here's the issue. We tend to overlook that there's an unfollow button on Instagram now and then. While we all have our vices, such as trash TV programs, our society already has a potent impact on the decisions that we create. By unfollowing the negative influences in our lifestyles, we can begin to nurture a feed that is encouraging rather than people constantly trying to remind us of the items that we utterly need. 7. Start keeping track of your progress. However, if you really want to make significant progress toward your individual economic objectives, you'll need to start keeping track of your progress. When it came to repaying off my debt, one of the first things I did was create a worksheet with my overall amount, monthly bills, as well as interest rates for each of my loans. During the 2 years it took me off to pay off my debt, even when I had nothing to contribute, I viewed that database more than Facebook. Even when it seemed like nothing was changing, I would pull up the worksheet, sign in, and erase my debts piece by piece, just to see what might happen. I would physically pick up that worksheet, sign in, and erase my debts one by one just to get a sense of how that would feel to clear everything. And it was a very effective vision exercise that certainly helped me stay focused on the endgame. If you can't bear the thought of using a worksheet, there are plenty of other wonderful applications that can help you keep track of your spending automatically. What matters most is that you gain an overview of your assets. Thus, you can finally get a sense of where this thing is going. 8th, stop wasting money on things you will never need. Alternatively, to save money in general. I'm sure I've mentioned it before, but a friendly warning never goes unnoticed. Quit purchasing unnecessary items and start putting money into your bank account. Take note of how you feel some few weeks after making a major buy. Is it resolving all of the issues that you expected it to? Do you think you're getting any nearer to joy or fulfillment? How much nearer would you be to happiness if you worked on some of your problems rather? A little perseverance and commitment when it comes to your personal financial objectives may go far. You only need to keep track of the vital things. You shouldn't need to keep track of every last penny. 9th, every year, read one financial planning book. This isn't simply about absorbing fresh data. It's really about receiving reinforcement to keep going. If everybody in your circle is renting Porsches and living check to check, you're not going to be motivated to be careful. Indulging yourself in the experiences of others who have gone before you will certainly assist you in keeping your eye on the ball. And 10th, finally, congratulate yourself on your achievements. To become financially independent, you don't have to live under a rock far away from society and eat only noodles. Although, given the current state of affairs, it doesn't appear to be a terrible thing actually. It's critical to make time to savor and live life to the fullest along the journey. As you advance from deficit to debt-free, make sure to create goals and incentives for yourself. Celebrate your victories with a glass of champagne, or a new pair of earphones, or finally repairing that shattered laptop. Give yourself the drive to keep on going, no matter how mundane. And that basically concludes this video. I hope you learned a thing or two. If you want to elevate your life from the one that you have currently to the one that you deserve and desire, be sure to click the subscribe button right now. This has been the one and only WealthMatic, and see you on our next video.